today by Top Secret. The Very Strange Case of Zigmund Adamski. Zigmund was a coal miner at Lofthouse Colliery, who mysteriously disappeared from his Tingley home in June 1980. His body was found on top of a large stack of anthracite in Todmorden. Strange disappearance. Adamski set out to get some potatoes at 3:30 p.m. on June 6, 1980. The next day he was due to attend a family wedding. His body was found 5 days later in Todmorden next to a railway line on the afternoon of Wednesday, 11th of June at 3:45 p.m. by Trevor Parker, the son of the owner of the Tomlins coal yard. The yard had not been used since 11 o'clock that morning and a body had not been seen at that time. Parker had arrived at 8 a.m. At 4:10 p.m. a police officer, Alan Godfrey, attended the scene, with a colleague. On examination, it was found he had died of a heart attack and had peculiar burns on his neck and shoulders. His clothes were in good condition although the shirt was removed. He had not attended any hospitals in the missing 5 days and had only been on the anthracite a few hours before he was found. It appeared that neither had he slept rough in the intervening days and he had been eating healthily, and that no struggle had taken place. It was also noticed that only 1 day's worth of beard growth had taken place, despite the length of his being missing, suggesting he had been able to shave. The post-mortem was carried out at 9:15 p.m. in Hebden Bridge by Dr. Alan Edwards, a consultant pathologist at the Royal Halifax Infirmary. He found that Adamski's death took place between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. that day. The burn on his neck had been there 2 days before his death, and had had a peculiar ointment applied that forensic scientists could not identify. There was some deliberation over the cause of his death as his death was not registered until the autumn of 1980. The coroner was James Turnbull. UFO connection. The case is also connected to another UFO encounter. The policeman who found Zigmund Adamski, Alan Godfrey, would claim to have had an encounter with a UFO 6 months later, on 28 November at 5 o'clock on Burnley Road, A646, in Todmorden, as he was driving his car on duty. This was 1 mile from the coal yard. He could not account for 15 minutes of his time. Under hypnosis with assistance from Manchester-based Mufara in 1981, he claimed he had been abducted. The Sunday Mirror, September 27, 1981, published this story on its front page as a UFO abduction. The story was written by John Sherd and Stuart Bonney. Well, what do you think from this story? Write it in the comments.